All right, we're getting back into it. Trailer trash, movie trailers, fucking. There you go. This one's called Cellar Door. Probably has nothing to do with Donnie Darko, though that was my first thought. Looking at only reason I wanted to check out the trailer is because the title itself reminded me of Donnie Darko, which I haven't seen in a long time, by the way. But let's see what this is about first. Then watch Donnie Darko. Yeah.
I promise we are going to find the perfect house and live the life of our dreams.
I'm going to recommend you speak to a friend of mine. If there's anybody who can help you, it's Emmett Claymore.
Now the house is a little rough. A plane engine fell into the top bedroom, but that's. Yeah. I don't want to have sex with my family. That's gross. Is that some of the lines? Yeah, Donnie Darko.
Hey, honey, I got a great idea. Let's go visit the dude with the big scary house out in the middle of nowhere. What could possibly go wrong?
So glad you decided to come.
John.
John.
This is my wife, Sarah.
Lovely to meet you.
It's really perfect.
What if this house were yours?
You take the blue paint job, and everything will be back to normal. You take the red paint job, and something. I could quote Donnie Darko, but not The Matrix.
Sorry, I don't follow.
Let's forget the financial facts for a moment, and just for the sake of argument, can a house make you happy? Dear
Shit, I bet you Pee-wee's Playhouse, that made him really happy, and Morpheus should know, because he was Cowboy Curtis. That was a stretch.
John and Sarah, it's clear you seek a new beginning, and I'd like to help. This house represents a past I wish to leave behind. I'd like to give the house to you.
Because you crackers look stupid, and I want you to suffer. Sorry, I just got on Pee-wee's Playhouse all of a sudden. You know how... Completely irrelevant tangent, by the way, but it bugs me. I keep thinking about it. I'm like, this sounds like a good idea, but there's no one to vent to about it, so... Hi, Internet. Pee-wee's Playhouse, right? Creepypastas where they'll take beloved childhood, what have yous, video games, theme parks, movies, shows, and they'll twist it and make it creepy and all that bullshit. How cool would it be if you did a creepypasta where it's somebody, documenting some scenario they were in where they're stuck in a house and they're describing, the house is dark and there's nobody there, but they're describing the rooms of the house and the things that they find, and you make it so it's you kind of bit by bit give clues that the house that they're in is Pee-wee's Playhouse, but it's long gone and forgotten, so all the weird shit that's in it are just dead and dormant. How crazy would that be, right? There's a chair, but the chair smells really bad, and they check inside, and it's got gigantic organs and eyeballs in it, and they're like, what? It's cherry, But you don't say that. You just explain I'm in this house, and for some reason there's gigantic organs in this chair, and it's made of flesh, but it's upholstered like a normal chair. The fridge has rotted vegetables with eyeballs, sunken eyeballs in their socket or some shit. There's a puppet, many puppets probably just laying unmoving, and all this. Again, you parse it out where it's it seems like another person in a creepy house, but as they explain the creepy things they find, it's a long dead and forgotten Pee-wee's Playhouse. Yeah, again, it comes to my head every now and again. I know creepypastas are long and dead, and also they're kind of dumb and tropey nowadays, but that would have been a cool one, I gotta say, and I had to share that thought. And I like to thank, I forgot the actor's name, Cowboy Curtis over here, for reminding me of it. Because again, who am I going to explain that to? Everybody's just going to think I'm fucking crazy. You guys already know I am, so.
One simple condition. You must never open the cellar door.
He's giving us this house for free.
It doesn't make any sense.
But this is what we've always wanted. We can be really happy here.
This place is incredible.
Oh, thank you.
Ever find out what was in the cellar?
Life is good. I don't need to look.
I think you want to look. I think you can't help yourself.
You must be the new neighbor. I hope you guys stick around.
That's a cool premise. I kind of hope this doesn't go into, even though it sounds like it's about to go into like horror, spooky jump scare territory. And I wanted to stay in that thriller. It's very Hitchcock kind of in a way. Hitch. Just this idea of like, well, no, I say Hitchcock, but it's Edgar Allan Poe, actually. The thing that can't be obtained or seen, just driving a person nuts sort of idea. Or like, well, I guess for the Telltale Heart it was guilt that was driving them nuts, but I get Hitchcock and Edgar Allan Poe vibes from this, and that's a cool combination, but they're probably going to turn it into some monster. We'll see.
We're not the first people he's done this to.
We could lose everything. Do you really want that?
25 years ago, Emmett Claymore's wife and daughter just disappeared.
This is the life he always dreamed of.
All for the low, low cost of your soul.
There's something in this house. We can't stay here. We gotta get out.
The house. It has its secrets.
I want it to turn out that it's kind of the whole, oh, you can have this mansion, but you got to stay in it for the night, ooh, sort of idea. And this guy's like fucking with people, like, yeah, it's free, just don't ever go in the cellar. There's nothing in the cellar, but it just drives people out because they're paranoid about it. I don't know to what gain, but that would be, I don't know, an interesting twist to the whole thing.
Ever since we moved into their house, everything has gone to shit.
I'm trying to protect you. Looking into a missing persons report?
All you had to do was just stay away.
That's easy. Oh, missing person report? Hey, you know, we got this place for free, but the dude told us don't check out the cellar, so we're not going to check it out. You feel free, cops. Why didn't we call the cops and have them check it out in the first... Wait a second. Wait. What? Yeah, I think it's one of those cases where the twist is going to be the couple is fucking insane, and Cowboy Curtis's whole stipulation really wasn't anything threatening or evil, but they get it in their heads it is, and are freaking out, walking around carrying guns, assuming there's something in the house. Sort of bullshit. Someone goes missing nearby, and now they feel like they're responsible for it, maybe, for no reason, unless they ended up killing somebody in the course of the movie, in which case, yeah.
No, John!
Enough! You know what they say about old houses.
No, don't do it. It's fucking Randy down there, the doll from Pee-wee's Playhouse. No, don't do it. It's Zombie. Zombie the genie. That would be another cool thing in that creepypasta where the person finds a box, but it's locked, and they finally figure out how to unlock it, and it's just a skull. It's like, why is there a skull in this box? Oh, weird. And, you know, again, if you know, you're like, that's... all the pieces come together. You're like, oh, a chair that was alive, creatures living in the fridge, dolls everywhere, and then a skull in a box. It's Pee-wee's play. Anyway.
They all have their deep, dark secrets.
Well, given that the rating for this one says... damn it, I always forget which one it is. It's not that one. Alright, fuck it. I'm just going to scroll over to it. Given that it's rated R for sexual content, language, and some violence... I don't think there's anything in that cellar, guys. If the most coming out of that cellar was some violence, then yeah, that's not what happens. That's not what's down there. I mean, unless what's in there is a naked woman who swears a lot, then it would make a lot of sense. Anyway, let's check out the comments. I can only see two situations. 1, close and concrete the door so it won't open at all. 2, reject the offers from the beginning. No in between. fucking call the cops. The cops are there. Tell them we're freaked out because of this offer and we just want to know if everything's cool. I mean, I guess it's an easy thing to write off. It could be like, oh, that whole like his daughter and wife just disappeared or whatever. It could be like, oh yeah, the police were in on it, or people say that the sheriff was his best friend, or so it's like, oh well, if they go to the police, they're gonna be like, nothing to see here, kind of thing, But still, you can't. It bugs the hell out of me, and this has happened in a couple of like thrillers and horror movies where it's like the police are there. Like that's the tricky thing about thrillers or horror movies that take place within the course of a few days or within a day, where it's like it's hard to feel threatened when you're in civilization where things like that can easily be resolved through law enforcement or what have you. You had your friends at the party just be like, hey, you guys want to check it out? Actually, I don't know. See, that's the other thing. Maybe the stipulation is no one can go in the cellar. But I feel like if it's law enforcement, you can't, he's not going to show back up and be like, hey, you guys went in the cellar, and be like, it was the police. They were really curious what was down there. Their missing person case. They had to find out. I don't know. Let me guess. They opened the cellar door after being told not to. And who wouldn't think it is far too good to be true that a house was just gifted or given to you for free? Wait, hold on. And who wouldn't think it is far too good to be true that a house was gifted? Something weird about that sentence. That being said, I'll watch the movie. Fan of the two leads. I have no idea who the two leads are, so that's interesting. So wait, the bottom line here is, let me guess, they opened the cellar door after being told not to. Yeah, it was in the trailer. He had the axe. I assume we eventually figure out what's in the cellar. Another good way to end this, actually. All this rigmarole, all this bullshit happens with the whole cellar thing, the couple freaking out. Again, my headcanon of there is no crazy thing going on with the cellar. It was bad optics, I guess what the stupid word would be. Morpheus just didn't really explain it very well, and the whole thing came off as creepy, even though it wasn't meant to be. He just didn't want anybody going in the cellar because that's where his prized wine collection is, or some bullshit, And so they're about to go in the cellar. You don't know what's in there still, but these two have been freaking out the whole movie about it. The guy steps in. You see you get a shot of him going down and looking around in the dark cellar, and credits. I doubt any director would have the balls to end a movie like that. But that would be the best. That would be amazing. Oh, man. I really want movies to do that. I mean, a lot of movies do that, and they're and they're amazing for it. Blair Witch. Again, that's a horror movie. This is a thriller, but still. What was it? Rules of Attraction? That ends with the guy, and he's like, I learned a very important lesson, and then it just cuts the credits. Was that the movie? Easy Rider kind of did that, sort of. Not really. It just kind of ended really abruptly. It was less of a tease and more of like a just it's over type deal. Harold and Kumar? No. Laverne and Shirley? Fuck, what's the one I'm talking about. Thelma and Louise. Laverne and Shirley, fuck. This famous linguist once said that of all the phrases in the English language, of all the endless combinations of words in all of history, cellar door is the most beautiful. That's the Donnie Darko quote. I was actually reading up on that to see the context of that quote, because again, I haven't seen the movie for a long time. It's interesting that no one seems to know definitively which great famous linguist, said that, or if it was just made up for the sake of the movie, which is interesting. Though one person, again, brief scan of Google, speculated Poe, or the speculation was Poe, which very Poe-like, this film. Then I think someone else was like, no, Tolkien. That might have been something, because famous linguist, not necessarily famous writer. Linguists? Yeah, that would Tolkien was certainly that. Lionsgate seems to be making terrible movies after another. I can't think of a good movie they've made this year. How is that studio not bankrupt? The one reply says, I wholeheartedly agree, and Lionsgate have been doing it for years now. What does Lionsgate... I don't know. Studios. I can't think of any other Lionsgate movies that would warrant that discussion. Man, another just no comments. It's like one person says Bluebeard. I don't know what the fuck is that? Is the Fable character Blue? One person says I would have opened the door emoji on day one's crying emoji. It's just nothing. It's a lot of nothing. I'm getting a lot of nothing from this fucking comment section this week, and it's pissing me off. No, not really. But thankfully, I did my really dumb rant about Pee-wee's Playhouse creepypasta, because that certainly filled in the time. I apologize for anybody who watched this whole thing all the way through, that I had to put you through that. It's really not much else to say. The movie looks interesting. Trailer looks kind of interesting, even though I raised a lot of questions about logistics and plot holes and such. Comment section, just complete dog shit, and I apologize on behalf of the comment section for that. It's not my fault, but I apologize. Anyway, that being said, I think it's very obvious what's in that cellar. It's